What's happening, everybody? I'm Todd Tanner. Continuing with the profile story of the one and only Butch Reed. This is Wrestling News Now. Part 2. I recorded part 2 earlier. Now this is going to be the third and final installment about Butch Reed. Butch Reed, let me go back to something earlier, because in my introduction of Butch Reed, I was remiss to say this. I want to say I want to pay my respects to Butch Reed, and I meant to say this in the very beginning. My apologies. Butch Reed sadly passed away on the 5th of February of 2021. So one of the greatest talents in human beings to ever have graced the squared circle. Butch Reed, R.I.P. Our brother, R.I.P. Continuing with the story of Butch Reed here, and pulling it back up, because now he's on the independent circuit here. And as he's on the independent circuit, many things are happening. So from 1992, 2002 to 2005 to 2013, after leaving WCW, Reed went to the United States Wrestling Association, where he resumed feuding with Junkyard Dog. Reed beat him for the USWA, Unified World Heavyweight Championship on October 12, 1992. He held the title for a week before he lost it to Todd Champion. He left the promotion before 1992 ended. Reed next appeared for a notable promotion in 1994, the Global Wrestling Federation, in its last days. He became the penultimate GWF North American Champion on June 4th, 1994. When he beat Rod Price for the held-up title, it had been held up the previous day after the match he had with Price got out of hand and ended inconclusively. He held it for almost a month before losing it to Gentleman Chris Adams, who was the last GWF North American Heavyweight Champion. I'm going to do a major profile about Gentleman Chris Adams shortly. Reed continued to work on the independent scene on a part-time basis so that he could participate in the rodeo circuit in Kansas City. In 2000, he started working for Harley Race's WLW promotion. He beat Luminous Warrior for the WLW heavyweight title on March 31st, 2001, and held the title until Dennis McHughes beat him for it on January 25th, 2002. After being retired for 3 years, Reed returned in 2005, appearing several times for the Mid-States Wrestling and eventually defeating heavyweight champion Mr. Saturday Night Michael Barry on November 11, 2005 for the Mid-States Wrestling heavyweight title. He also participated in the Legends of Wrestling, the Legends of Wrestling tour in 2006. On August 18, 2007, he lost to Steve Williams at NWA's Legend Fan Fest. Reed's last match was on May 18, 2013, teaming with Bob Orton Jr. and losing to Flash Flanagan and Ron Powers at SICW in East Corinth, Illinois. In 2016, Reed was named part of a class action lawsuit against WWE, which alleged that wrestlers incurred traumatic brain injuries during their tenure and that the company concealed the risks of injury. The suit was litigated by attorney Constantine Karos, who had been involved in a number of other lawsuits against WWE. In September 2018, the lawsuit was dismissed by U.S. District Judge Vanessa Lynn Bryant. On February 5th, 2021, an Instagram post from Reed's official account announced his death from complications of 2 heart attacks that occurred in January. Some relatives attributed his death to COVID-19 and said he tested positive around January 12th. He was 66 years of age. So in concluding, we're going to talk about Butch Reed's championships and his accomplishments as Central State's tag team champion with Jerry Roberts one time. He was the NWA International Heavyweight Champion one time in the Championship Wrestling from Florida, and Georgia Championship Wrestling in the Omni Thanksgiving Day Tag Team Tournament with Pistol Pairs. They won, which was 1983. The Global Wrestling Federation, the GWF North American Heavyweight Championship one time. Insane Championship Wrestling, the MWCW Heavyweight Champion one time. In the Mid-South Wrestling Association, he won the Mid-South North American Heavyweight Championship 3 times. He won the Mid-South Tag Team Championship one time with Jim Neidhart. And he was the Mid-South Television Championship. He won the Mid-South Television Championship one time. In Mid-States Wrestling, he was the MSW Heavyweight Champion one time. Missouri Wrestling Federation, Midwest Wrestling Federation, he was the MWF Heavyweight Champion one time. Pro Wrestling Illustrated ranked 174 of the best 500 singles wrestlers during the PWI years of 2003, and he was ranked number 91 of the 100 best tag teams during the PWI years with Ron Simmons in 2003. In the United States Wrestling Association, he was the USWA Unified World Heavyweight Champion one time. World Championship Wrestling, he won the WCW World Tag Team Championship one time with Ron Simmons. He won the World League Wrestling Heavyweight Championship one time. And the Wrestling Observer Newsletter deemed him to be the strongest wrestler in 1984 and the most improved of 1987. There you have it. The one and only Butch Reed, R.I.P. For Wrestling News Now, I'm Todd Tanner.